Welcome back. Federal immigration agents are under attack. Officers in Texas were recently targeted in violent ambushes. In McAllen, Texas, Border Patrol agents stopped a potential massacre. They shot and killed an armed man who opened fire on a CBP facility. 3 people were injured, including a local police officer. Then, hundreds of miles away in Alvarado, Texas, 11 people are now charged in total, with 10 suspects facing attempted murder charges. They are suspected of firing dozens of rounds at agents responding to cars being vandalized at an ICE center. A city police officer was shot in the case as well. Now, that ambush appeared to be sophisticated and very well funded. The suspects were wearing black military-style clothing. They had 12 sets of body armor, 14 guns, fireworks, spray paint, and 2-way radios. They carried leftist anti-government propaganda and scrawled similar graffiti in the area. Now, despite the explosion in violence, Democrats now introducing a new bill. That bill would require ICE agents to be unmasked and carry visible identification. Here's what they're saying about it.
They cannot use excessive force, and they should not act like vigilante folks wearing masks.
If everything is legitimate and proper, why are you wearing masks?
This is America. This is not the Soviet Union. We're not behind the Iron Curtain.
Senior correspondent Jackie Heinrich joins us live at the White House this morning. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, good morning. This bill currently has 13 Senate co-sponsors. Congressional Democrats are now defending this proposal. The Visible Act would ban federal immigration officers from wearing face coverings, but require them to identify themselves with either their agency name or badge number during enforcement operations. And it comes as DHS says ICE agents are facing a 700% increase in assaults against them in recent weeks. DHS is now accusing Democrats and the media of trying to normalize violence against law enforcement.
You look at Karen Bass out of California, Gavin Newsom, Tim Walz, all of them likening ICE enforcement officers and our first responders to the Nazis, to the modern-day Gestapo. That is giving a free pass to these lunatics to take action and really get someone killed.
A New York man was just charged with threatening to kill federal immigration officials as well as their children, posting online, "Kill them all. ICE is the new age Gestapo. Stop them. Then understand that if your ICE agents don't show proof of identity and a signed warrant, we will kill them. I can't wait to put a bullet into this guy's brain, but first, his children." And Bill, you mentioned just moments ago those 2 violent attacks in Texas. Speaker Mike Johnson posted, "This is insanity. The attacks on ICE and Border Patrol agents must end. Our federal law enforcement officers deserve our respect and gratitude. To my Democratic colleagues, it's time to stop the dangerous actions and rhetoric and start setting an example." The White House now vowing to prosecute to the fullest anyone who violates the law.
ICE and Border Patrol are doing the work that they swore an oath to do, and they face now a 700% increase in violence from radical left lunatics, and we're not going to tolerate that. Anyone who threatens or who partakes in violence against our brave law enforcement officers against this in this country is going to face the fullest extent of justice from our great Attorney General, Pam Bondi.
Border Czar Tom Homan says ICE will double down on its efforts and triple down in sanctuary cities, quote, "not because they're blue, but because we know they'll reach some public safety threats." Bill.
Yep, and we know he will certainly follow through on that threat to triple down. Jackie Heinrich live at the White House for us. Jackie, good to see you.
Thanks, CJ.
So DHS is reporting attacks on ICE and border agents are up nearly 700%. Critics now pointing out that Democrats' inflammatory anti-ICE rhetoric is on the rise, but violence notwithstanding, many on the left are still doubling down with what they're saying.
Our local police department will not ever cooperate with ICE. Whatever their constitutional authority is.
Some of the most inspiring things have been when people encircle courtrooms and refuse to allow ICE agents in.
They need to leave, and they need to leave right now.
Byron York's new column with the headline, quote, "Disturbing glimpses of Democratic anger." It argues the liberal rage against deporting illegals is just one facet of the growing leftist fury. Quote, These are Democrats who have moved beyond the defeat them at the ballot box stage of politics and even beyond the protest by civil disobedience stage. They're ready to turn a political fight into a physical fight. We are joined now by Senator Ashley Moody, Republican out of the state of Florida. She sits on the Homeland Security and Judiciary Committees. She also served as Florida's Attorney General. Senator, you've worn many hats, and we thank you for coming on this morning.
Of course.
So you hear one Democrat say she's inspired by people surrounding courthouses and trying to stop ICE. You hear others referring to ICE as the Gestapo, as terrorists, as kidnappers. Tom Homan has said it feels like the pressure's building, everything's heating up, and he's worried somebody's going to get killed. Now we have these violent incidents. Where do you see this going next?
Yeah, to my colleagues and other lawmakers around this nation that are using words like inspiring and encouraging these acts, I would just say you have gone well beyond advancing and arguing for political parties. You are now becoming more like agents of our foreign adversaries that want to destabilize our nation and attack our institutions and government. And certainly, I know many have said we're just paying attention to our base that wants blood. Well, listen to me. Your base is now criminals and anarchists, and if you are doing that, you are in fact inciting violence. So I would ask, not just as a senator or a member of the Judiciary Committee or a member of the Homeland Security Committee, I would ask as the wife of a law enforcement officer, a DEA agent, a local law enforcement officer. They are assisting with restoring order and removing criminals from our communities and this nation, as President Trump promised. In fact, it was a state or local that was shot within the last 2 weeks when we had 2 targeted attacks against ICE agents. This cannot happen in the United States of America, and I hope that law-abiding Americans that love this nation, understand that law and order is essential to a civilized, free society, are paying attention of who is standing up for Americans and law-abiding citizens and who is standing up for criminals and chaos right now.
Yeah, they wanted blood. They're starting to get it. I want to talk to you about another topic because maybe it's never too late for a little bit of accountability. Sources telling Fox News that the Justice Department has opened up a criminal investigation into former FBI Director James Comey and former CIA Chief John Brennan. Now, investigators believe Brennan in particular may have committed perjury during congressional testimony over the so-called Crossfire Hurricane investigation. The intel community and Democratic lawmakers back then claimed that Russia meddled in the 2016 election to get Trump elected. Then we all remember special counsel Robert Mueller spent years and millions of dollars investigating those claims, and he produced pretty much a nothing burger of a report. And one key point of that investigation was in May 2023, Brennan told the House Judiciary Committee he did not want the Steele dossier included in the intel assessment report on possible Russia election meddling. But part of this memo, declassified by CIA Director John Ratcliffe last week, shows that Brennan actually did push for the mostly unverified and salacious dossier to be included in that assessment. It's unclear what the DOJ's focus on Comey includes, but he's racked up plenty of controversy over the years, the most recent being a post of seashells spelling out 8647, many pointing out that could be interpreted as an incitement of violence against President Trump. The White House press secretary weighed in on all of it.
Both of these disgraceful individuals turned against our Constitution and our country, and I'm sure they did, in fact, lie to Congress, and it's up to the Department of Justice to investigate that and to prosecute them if they did.
Senator James Comey and John Brennan, obviously no strangers to controversy here. What do you make of this investigation?
You know, look, this could be unprecedented that you have a current CIA director forwarding information to the FBI for investigation about a prior CIA director. And, you know, again, I'm going to go back to the hypocrisy of the Democrats. They keep talking about that Trump is bringing retribution and that he's using these institutions for political reasons. This is not retribution. This is fumigation. You've had radicals roaming in these institutions like termites, destabilizing them, weakening them. The Dems talk about these institutions being weakened by Trump. He is fumigating these. He is bringing back integrity and accountability. And I believe that these things should be looked at so that the American people can be restored in their belief in these institutions and know that they are, in fact, a government of the people, not a government of a political party seeking to deliver a political agenda. That is not how these institutions should operate. And so I commend the FBI, Director Patel, and the administration for taking a fresh look and considering whether accountability and some of these people need to be brought to justice.
Yeah, and John Brennan, we all remember, was one of those more than 50 Intel officials who signed on to that letter saying that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. That obviously turned out not to be true. Senator Ashley Moody of Florida, great to see you. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Great to be with you.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.